Yo, what's good guys, Metal Gamer over here bringing you a Pokemon Sun and Moon theory video. This time, wait, it has spoilers because it does have a mention of something from the data mine leaks, so if you guys don't want to hear that, exit out right now. Okay, so I gave you guys a chance. So now anyways, this one is about how Pikipek evolves into Toucan Sam. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, Toucan Sam is the toucan that is on the, it's like the mascot for Fruit Loops, the cereal, which is a very, very popular cereal. I personally like Fruit Loops. Like I just like eating it plain, like not with milk, just plain as it is. But anyways, that is not the point of this video. So anyways, you start out with Pikipek, then you evolve into a bird with a slightly longer beak and larger wings, and then you finally become a toucan. Now, you might be thinking, why, how is it that you get from a woodpecker, Woody Woodpecker, into Toucan Sam? Like, those two cartoons are not even related. Woody Woodpecker was a TV show. Toucan Sam is for a cereal box. They're not even closely related, but I have the answer to that question. Or if you guys were even wondering that question, maybe you weren't, because it doesn't really seem like a super important question. But regardless, nonetheless, so this theory was brought in part by Ghazi Sahil. He left a comment on one of my videos about this, and I decided to expand upon it. And this was actually, I did actually think of this on my own before, but I sort of incorporated some of his ideas into my own thoughts. I'm going to present this to you guys. So shout outs to him, and thank you so much for leaving that comment. And if you guys have any comments about any theories, let me know and I can make videos on them too. So anyways, you start out with Picback. Now, Picback is this small little woodpecker, and I'm going to read a little bit of its description from the Pokédex. So, Pikipek can strike 16 times a second with its beaks. These strikes are powerful enough to not only drill through hard wood, but even shatter stone. The noises made by their blows can signal others. Some of these signals have been identified as warning signals and greetings among allies. Pikipek trainers have grown to recognize them as well. So, yo, getting some Mockingjay in there, Hunger Games. Like the call that Katniss does. Anyways, these Pokemon drill holes in trees and store food in the holes. They also like small glittering objects and will tuck them away in food stores too. It's often said, something lost, something missed. Check inside the Picback nest. Oh, I thought that would rhyme. That didn't rhyme. No bars there. Pikipek will attack distant opponents by zipping seeds at them. These shots have enough strength to embed the seeds in tree trunks. That sounds like Bullet Seed. Well, I would not be surprised if this Pokemon can learn Bullet Seed. But anyways, this is basically just saying that Pikipek is a woodpecker because of how fast it can strike its beak per second. It can strike it 16 times per second. And they also have certain seeds, and they store the food in holes. Now, if you guys don't know, the theory of evolution by Charles Darwin, it basically says that there's this thing called natural selection. And now natural selection deems that any individual in a population that has the highest fitness will be the one that successfully reproduces and is the one that passes on its traits. And so over time, evolution will occur. This is over like thousands and thousands of years. It's not within the span of a few years. And it's not in the individual level. It's not a population level. And basically, it's saying that those traits will be passed on and they will be more prevalent in future populations, and that is called evolution, because that one trait was not present before, but now it is present, and it gives the organism some advantage in its environment. So what Charles Darwin did was Charles Darwin went to the Galapagos Islands, which are these islands. I actually don't know where they are. They're somewhere. They're islands somewhere in the water. They're surrounded by a body of water. And so the Galapagos Island has insane organisms, insane in the membrane. I'm gonna say that in like every video. I'm gonna try to say that in every video. But they have really, really cool organisms that are unique and not found in other areas of anywhere, really. And the reason for this is that the organisms on the islands have all evolved and adapted to live on those islands over time. And so each island has different sources of food. And as you can imagine, I was about to say Pokemon. Oh my god. No, Pokemon are not in real life. But the animals are real. Animals are real. The animals on each of these islands have evolved in order to eat those food sources. So for example, there are these things called finches that Charles Darwin studied. And some of the finches had very long beaks to get different seeds and insects that were inside trees, and some of them had really short beaks in order to get things nearby. So it's whatever the organism adapts to in the environment is what evolves over time, is passed on. So therefore, looking at the Galapagos finches, you saw that they have different beak sizes. Now, I think that this theory of evolution aligns with PIKIPEK'S evolution. So, I mean, I know Pokemon evolution has nothing to do with like real life evolution, like Charles Darwin evolution, but I think that PIKIPEK'S very well can, because it explains how it goes from a woodpecker to a toucan. Now, in real life, woodpeckers and toucans, although they are both birds, they're not part of the same genus. So, in case you guys don't know, genus is basically like taxonomy. So you have kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, getting more specific as you go down the list. But yeah, they're not the same genus. So they are related to a certain extent, but not super closely related. But I do believe that that is what Game Freak was trying to do with PIKIPEK. So you have the small PIKIPEK with the small beak, and then over time it evolved into its secondary form, and those secondary forms got longer beaks in order to get maybe insects and other seeds that were buried deep into plants or buried deep into trees and things like that. And then finally they became Toucan Sam, because Toucan Sam, that huge, enormous beak, is really good for getting berries and larger food items, because the small beaks are obviously pretty small. So anyways, that is the theory of evolution, from woodpecker to Toucan Sam. And once again, like, by the way, Toucan Sam is not the name of the organism. The name of the organism is a toucan, and I just like saying Toucan Sam because when the Riddler showed off the toucan, the first thing that came to my mind was Toucan Sam from Fruit Loops. But that's basically the theory of evolution behind why PIKIPEK turns into a toucan. It is because of evolution, because of Charles Darwin, because of natural selection in the Pokemon world. This is pretty interesting because I never would have thought of evolution as being applied to Pokemon, but this seems to be the case, because how else can you turn from one organism to another? But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this theory. If you did, please hit that thumbs up down below. Subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at @medicalgamer. I'm actually going to mention what my thing is for Twitter so that you guys actually know what it is. So it's at @medicalgamer. Nothing, no spaces. I don't know if it matters, if the capitalization matters, but mine is capital M and then capital G. So medical is capital and gamer is capital. And that's about it. So leave a comment about what you guys think about this. I'm going to get out of here. Peace.